Hi guys, Jerry Burnett here. How you guys doing out there today? Hope you're doing fine. I'd like to talk to you guys briefly about something I've been thinking about lately. I like to talk definitely about the things I'm thinking about. Those are great things to put on videos. I like to do that. Things that's on my mind. Sometimes, I'll just get going and see what comes out. A lot of times the things I'm thinking about, the things I talk about, are things that I've been thinking about, been coming to my mind. I've been kind of turning it over. This is one of those things. I like to talk about, having a propensity for action or a disposition for action. If we could actually get in situations where we have a project we're working on, something we're doing big. I'm in internet marketing, so that's a big project for me. How it works in my life. So I use that example a lot of times. And you can actually get going in this business because there's so much involved. There are a lot of entities. There are a lot of things that are involved in internet marketing. Actually, to get this thing going and to be working. And if you allow yourself, you could be just thinking over lots of things. You could be thinking forever, really, planning on how you're going to do things or how you're going to build things and that kind of stuff. And it'll just freeze you up. You find yourself in a total planning phase, a total planning stage where you never get out if you don't really just break out. And that's why I learned that you really have to have a disposition for action, the willingness to just kind of really break out there and kind of get going. You got to be willing to really begin to do before you're really all the way set on just about how you're going to do everything. You can't wait till you have everything 100% figured out. You have to just get going, do things, because action creates a certain amount of energy. It's not just enough to know what this or that or have a knowledge. You actually have to implement it by doing, and that's a certain knowledge in doing, and it creates a certain energy, the kind of energy that is needed to really be successful at anything. And it's built in action, it's built in doing. And you may, a lot of times you may figure, well, I don't want to get started now because I don't know how I want to do it all, and I want to do some more time putting it together, plan it out, and that. Don't get me wrong, planning and that kind of thing is good. You have to do it in the initial phases. You even have to do it as you go along. But you want to get in a certain amount of planning. You want to get an understanding of pretty much what you want to do, and you have to get out there and begin to do. And doing will solve a lot of your problems. A lot of problems that we find ourselves having when we're involved in a project, getting out there and just doing will work out and solve a lot of those problems. A lot of our problems will be solved if we just start doing. And even on the calculating part, you may figure, hey, I want to get this thing right. I think about when I was little and I used to throw rocks and that kind of thing. If you're trying to hit something that is far off and you're throwing a rock at it, you know that first throw, you're trying to hit it with that first throw, but it might not be close at all. But that first throw shows you where to make the second throw. And you throw the second throw, and it shows you where to make the third throw. Okay, I need to come in just a little bit and a little bit to the right, and then that'll be just fine. And so that's how it is with our actions. Action not only does it actually gives us just action itself solves our problems for us. Action itself shows us what to do. Action itself shows us how to hit the target. Because when we begin to throw at it, we can judge. And I think about what the general of the first Iraq war, I can't remember his name, sorry for the answer, but right now, he said something. He was in public speaking after his military career. He said he'd rather have a team of guys that were already in motion, and yet they're going in the wrong direction, than to have a team that was just idle and wasn't moving at all. They may have a master plan about this thing, but they're idle. They haven't moved at all. They're just in a state of down inertia. He said he'd rather have a team that's on the move already in the wrong direction. Because he said if you're in movement already, it's a lot easier to correct movement and to readjust and to do what you need to do. I guess it's kind of like throwing a rock, But if you're sitting still, you don't have any momentum build. You have to you got to fight against inertia just to get started. That's a bad way to be. So get going, get the action going. One thing I like to do is in my business, I like to start out in the early part of the day and doing action, getting what I need to do from the action point of view. And then in the later part of the day, after I've done the action part, then I'll go back and do studying and do some mind kind of things and try to create it bigger and that kind of thing. And then when I go back again the next day, that next morning, I get started again. I can start off with that new theory, that new studying I've done. I can put it right in action that next morning, you know what? And then in the evening, or the later parts of my workday, then I can do my planning and reading and educating myself on it again. And so therefore, you know, I got this thing that's constantly working on itself. I got new knowledge directing my action. And then I got that action, you know, that I can take, that I can add knowledge to and work on and make it better. So that's the thing we want to do, guys. We want to have a disposition for action. Get out there and do something. Ready, fire, aim. You know, that's what you want to do. And then after that, hey, you can go back and course correct. So have a disposition for action. You know, it will revolutionize your life. It's lots of times you can see a situation where a guy is smarter, has a lot more going for him. He gets involved with a project, looks like he should be able to lead the pack. But then you got this other guy over here, really don't even know that much. He's just kind of out there, getting out there before he goes. He's really not that bright, but he rises to the top and become one of the real successes in a situation, in an organization, and whatever it is. Why? Because he just out there putting in the action, you know, and the other guys out there basically, you know, plotting and thinking and planning and just based in a state of inertia with just a little action here and there. So, all right, guys, just let's have a disposition for action, a propensity for action, and go out there and do something. All right, this is Jerry Burnett signing off for you guys. See you later.